Well, good afternoon. As the economy in the world evolves, one of the things that I have found that is one of the biggest conversation pieces happening, especially this time of year, is when students are preparing to go back to school. And the idea of going back to school has to have a business approach now. And you almost have to be like an entrepreneur putting in an investment. The reason why I say this is that the schools are doing the exact same things to us. From our high school perspective, we're seeing now more than ever schools caring more about the amount of students who apply to university or college and that get in, and they want to show that as a report to attract other people, which is a business mentality. And yet, they don't necessarily care if the kids truly finish, if they're following their passions or their dreams in regards to an area of study, and if they have the support and the true encouragement to really go after their dreams and goals academically. And in our university settings or college settings, what we're noticing is that these colleges and universities are making it so much more expensive for the common person to go to university or college that they know that they're attracting more international students who are coming in and those who are going back to their respective places to make their economy stronger and their country better. I don't think that that's bad by any means, but realistically, looking at the structure of our culture, we have to have a culture shift. I believe everybody should be having equal opportunity to get an education, but if you don't make the playing field equal, then it's only the strong that survive. So if the world is going to adopt that mentality of the strongest survives, or the strong will survive, so to speak, then we as individuals have to make sure that we are putting ourselves first in a way that we are looking out for our best interest and allowing ourselves to leverage what the world's giving us. If we know that there is a possibility of the institutions doing this to us, what we have to do as a solution is that we have to make sure that in high school, that we are getting a sense of what our passion means to us. From a very young age, probably from grade 11 or grade 12, wherever the case may be, we have to be accountable and responsible for us to define our passion, our passion of interest. If we were to do something in a job, would we do it for free? Would it make our hearts sing in the morning? Would it make us have vigor and vitality and give meaning and purpose to our lives? And we have to start doing that in high school so that when we meet with our guidance counselors and those counselors who are helping us guide us in the direction that we need to go, that we are guiding ourselves more while we're just allowing them to give us information for us to make a better decision. Because what we want to have is leverage back in our hands of opportunity. And then once we make those decisions and put ourselves in those strategic opportunities to get where we want to go and an area of interest of study, once we get into our university or college institutions, then we want to also apply the fact that when we go out and we start to learn, adjust, become responsible and accountable to ourselves over the years, we want to make sure that as we are moving towards graduation, looking for work, etc., that we know that it still remains our passion. We must keep the passion alive and well, regardless of our situation. Because once you leave your college or university institution, the world owes you nothing. There is no guarantees. You have to understand that the cookie cutter mentality of A, B, and C of a structured approach no longer exists. We are now leaving what we call the industrial age and going to informational, which means we need to adopt the fact that more information we have about our area of interest, the better we can strategically place ourselves in our job market opportunities, in our academics, in life. And we want to make sure we have that balance. So to all those parents and students who are preparing to go to school this coming fall, I would like for you to understand the passion component. I want to make sure that you're not doing something because of status, credentials, or being able to say you'll make a lot of money from it, because the truth of the matter is, when all that is done and you've achieved it, you're going to feel you have nowhere else to go. And most of the time, it's the hungriest person who realizes that they got to start from the bottom to work their way to the top and go through a process towards progress to actually reach their goal. Don't get caught up in that cookie cutter mentality. Don't get caught up in being a robot where someone's programming you to believe this is where you need to go because you have a certain GPA when it's not reflective of your passion. Don't allow society to condition you to believe that you need to have a certain career because there's jobs in that market now. Yeah, but 5 years from now, nobody can predict the market either. So that's why it's so important for you to understand what you want and not allow anybody else to dictate to you. Take in the information, filter it, and then use pieces of it if you need to. but otherwise discard it. Stay focused on the path, stay focused on where you're going, and I promise you, your educational experience will be something that you will enjoy because you've understood you as an asset and you invested in yourself properly, and your benefit of what you've invested in will pay back to you. Have a great afternoon.